7 o'clock, so I'm going to call the meeting to order. We are being recorded for rebroadcast, so I need to know if anyone's making another recording of this meeting. Okay, that being the case, we don't have any public hearings this evening, but Mr. Wade had Sheila put it on the agenda, wanted to discuss, I'm not really sure what, but why don't you come up to the table? I think you would want to talk about some changes in one of your plans or something.
Changes. When I originally came, it was labeled 36 Mill Street, but the town had changed it to 404 Washington Street because they didn't want people to come down, Mill Street. Was on the riverfront. There was some riverfront restoration, and during the procedure, I was trying to change my underground detention for my stormwater management to above ground, because underground I would have had to take too many trees down. Well, I went back and forth with this board, the planning board, and the zoning board, and finally nobody trumps anybody, so I had to go by what the zoning board, because even though everybody else said it was the best choice to do, zoning wouldn't budge, and I had to do it. So cut down what I could. I kept a lot of the stuff that I could keep. The mature trees, because even in here people would rather see mature trees and vegetation than replantings and stuff like that. So I can't follow what I have on my plans, and I would like to have a meeting on the site where you can come down and see what I have and see if there's more that I have to add, because one of my neighbors was complaining I didn't do any restoration. But
which neighbor was that?
I don't want to say any names.
Right.
But if you look at my site compared to all my neighbors, you'll find out it's very clean. It's there. I curbed the water problem. He wants to sue me every time my water goes onto his property. So, I did what I did. If you look at it, I think it was good, but it's up to you people, and that's why I would like to meet on the site so you can see what I have done and what is there.
Okay, I'm just trying to follow what you're talking about the order of conditions that we approved.
Yes.
Call for a planting plan of certain trees in certain
right,
locations.
yes. But
and now you're not able to do
by keeping the mature trees, it changes what's on my plans. And it's easy to be on site and I can show you what it is. Because everybody was under the opinion that mature trees would be better than planting. So I kept as much as I could there, which changes what's on my plan here.
Does that show anything on there, Mike? Does that map there show anything?
Yeah, I can zoom in further or scroll
What you're talking about,
I'm
to
trying
maybe save everybody
I'm trying to
a
pick
trip
out
there?
okay, it's this building right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing.
You can see all of this, if you look on the map, is all mature. There was no sense me cutting this down to go in and do a planting. Also, the land slopes down here, and I didn't want any erosion into the stream that's in back there. It didn't make any sense to me to do that. All right, so this is here. My underground, because I couldn't put my above ground, is all right here. And these are all the mature trees I have right here. The only place I don't have anything is right here. There were a couple mature trees, but they died.
Well, it looks like there's a cart path there.
What's that? Yeah, that's not on my property. That's
Okay.
on
That's the
this
adjacent.
fellow's property there, my existing neighbor.
I understand.
So if you look at this compared to everything, and like I said, you have to get on site to see what I'm talking about, but this is it. Because originally it shows this was all going to be cut out here, and I would do plantings. But the stream runs in the back here. So if I'm cutting all this down in the hills like this, I would have had a ton of erosion there. And to me, it didn't make sense to do that.
Okay.
And I just wanted to go over what I have and see if there's anything else I have to do there. Because my neighbor was complaining I didn't do anything.
Okay. So, what's your availability, say, over the weekend, preferably on Saturday?
Saturday morning, anytime after, I have a radio show in the morning, so anytime after 10 o'clock, I would be there on site.
Okay. Can you be there at 10 or like 10?
No, I'll be right there at 10 o'clock.
All right.
I'm usually back between 9:30 and 9:45, but I'll definitely be there
Okay.
at 10 o'clock.
I can make a 10 o'clock appointment on Saturday.
Where are you gonna meet? At the store or?
If you want to meet at my store, we could meet right on the site. I'm not sure what's easier for you people.
It's the one down in the back, right?
Yeah, it's the one down in back. If you, can you, I guess shrink this up so I can show you how to get there?
Just drive down Mill Terrace, can we?
No, this
No.
is what they don't want. See, oh, you just lost it. Where am I?
You're right, over there.
Yeah, there's a road right here that goes right down to this
Okay,
building.
I see.
Okay, my motorsports building is right here,
Uh-huh.
okay?
So further down 20?
Yes, yeah, if you're going east on Route 20,
Yep.
you'd go past motorsports.
Yep.
And the next drive right there goes right
I know
down.
where it is.
See, this was Mill Street. They didn't want, they changed the number to 404 because some of my earlier plans had 36 Mill Street. But they didn't want trucks in that coming over here because I have a gate here. I had to put that there to stop traffic from going in between.
Okay.
So
All right,
I can meet you right down at the
Yeah,
building
why don't we
site.
meet like in front of the building in the back?
Right here, I can
Right
meet you
that
right
corner.
there.
Sure.
Yep,
Perfect.
okay, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I may not be here.
Yeah, I'm working from 10 a.m., so
That's all right.
it's not gonna work.
Sheila, you want to come?
I'm going on a motorcycle.
That's supposed to be a good weekend for that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because
fine.
that's
That's all
Columbus
right.
Holiday
Day.
weekend, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will be there at 10 o'clock. I'll
Very
meet
good. I'll see you there.
Okay, thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Good night, Mike.
Good night.
Good night.
Ordinarily, I'd be working later, but it's a middle shift.
Well, we'll see.
That's all right.
This wouldn't be as easily accessible by bike. We could do it,
That's
but...
still a weak
You could get
excuse.
picked off on Route 20.
So are you gonna ride your bike over there?
No, of course not.
Okay, relative to Tara at Mass DOT, I'm not sure why that's on there, but I did speak to her.
You did?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Last week. It's really sort of a maintenance issue as far as spraying for the invasive plant species. So they needed an answer last week, so,
Oh,
you know, it's a maintenance issue, to me, so they're gonna go ahead and do the spraying for the invasive plants. And then Kelly Engineering, is that the engineer for, because I thought that was the one for Reliant Medical.
it is.
But I noticed you have Reliant Medical down here under the...
Yeah, well, I just left that
Okay.
because it was an enforcement order and I just wanted to...
Okay,
It
so-
is that.
So Kelly Engineering is going to file a notice of intent on the Reliant Medical issue
Correct.
for the, it's going to be heard on October 23rd?
That's what they're telling me.
So when's your advertising cutoff for that?
Is it tomorrow?
Okay, so you don't actually have
Let me
it
see.
yet, right?
No, I don't have the application yet, and if they don't get it in on time,
And you won't be able to advertise it.
yes, it would be tomorrow. I'll call her just to
Okay.
see if she's going to have it ready.
Okay, we're down to the bylaw regulations. So, I think Sheila's gone through, she made some corrections. You know, we've got this updated version.
Okay.
New is blue.
Well, I think I left it in my other briefcase.
Okay.
So,
The new one?
Yeah,
Oh.
sorry.
Oh,
See,
Oh,
I'm
so he's-
going to be in court tomorrow, so I
all right.
packed it
You want to look
different.
at mine?
If you don't mind sharing.
The only, you know, I really didn't go through the whole thing again, but the only thing, I'd like us to talk about the fee structure.
Sure.
I don't know what everyone's thoughts are on that.
I mean, I think we actually, when we were working on these regulations, We did talk about revisiting the issue of the
Yeah.
amount of the fees,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually think it's a good idea. But the question, of course, is what do we want to, what kind of fees do we want to charge, keeping in mind that Auburn is not Needham,
Right.
Exactly.
you know?
And I think my original question was, how did they choose the fees they chose, and how do we, by what criteria do we decide, and it not be just seemingly arbitrary?
I can't answer that because I don't know.
Right. I mean, how do we set the prices and what are appropriate?
Pages are not numbered.
Well, we can check communities around us and see what they're charging. That's usually what
Yeah.
everybody does.
Maybe towns closer and
I mean, I'm sure, for example,
like
I
Auburn.
know that actually Sutton has fees, and that they're actually, from what I understand, pretty expensive. But that's Sutton too.
I was going
so,
to say that's Sutton.
But we can certainly check on other regulations, Sturbridge, Northborough, Worcester, and then we can, and maybe after we have a chance maybe to look at those, we'll get a sense of what they're charging, and we can,
triangulate something.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I will say, for example, that I'm looking just at 112A, a request for an RDA. I think $100 is a very reasonable
Yeah.
fee.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I think to delineate a resource area, $100 is also, I think, very reasonable. And
Except
then,
for $1,000 if it's a commercial project, up to
Well,
$1,000.
right. So I mean,
And that's on top of $1,000 at the end of the WPA too.
right. So that's something we have to look at. And then, for minor activities, 150 seems a little steep to me. So I think that's what we should do. And, we can speculate as much as we want, but
What about Oxford? Would they be a good, do they have?
I don't know that
regulations?
Oxford has a bylaw.
we can look at the website, and certainly we can get some guidance from that.
Okay.
Well, if that's the case, then, is that the only issue that we have left?
Well, the only other thing, I forgot to talk to Mr. Kastanovich about the disbursement of the funds,
Okay.
because this says that they're going into the general fund,
Right, when
and
they
we need
should
to
not
figure
be.
out
Right.
how we get them from the general fund, or how we extract them, or can we in some way modify the existing revolving account to include those funds?
I did have one question.
Yeah.
In our definitions, we do not define intermittent and perennial streams.
Oh, I thought we had decided to do that.
I thought we had to.
I don't think I could find it anywhere.
I know there are definitions out there.
Were we just going to use the state definition?
Yeah, I thought so.
I couldn't find one under the state.
I imagine under the statute it's defined.
I would think so.
Was that an issue where there was the question because it was defined so much differently back when the previous bylaw was in effect?
Well, no. I think the statute has been amended several times, and so I'm
Right.
sure there's a recent.
Yeah, I know I've read
definition.
language in the state law that defines, perennial and how to discern the difference, and
Right.
talking about riverine characteristics, for example, that can make something that you think is intermittent perennial.
Exactly.
We did include intermittent in the definition of stream. Maybe we just threw it under stream because it says stream means a body of running water including brooks, creeks, and other water courses which moves in a defined channel in the ground due to a hydraulic gradient. A portion of a stream may flow through a culvert or beneath a bridge. A stream may be intermittent, i.e. does not flow throughout the year. That's a very short definition, but
I think we can do better.
Okay.
But a stream can also be perennial.
right.
Right.
So I think we have to.
And there's a section in the state law about having credible evidence as to whether to document that it's intermittent versus perennial, if people have arguments over which it is.
I don't think we have to put that in the definition, certainly.
We could just add a short comment, a stream may be intermittent, keep that, and then say, or may flow year-round. if we don't have to add a totally separate definition, that's kind of nice for keeping things short.
Uh-huh.
We could just add another line to our existing definition of stream. Maybe intermittent or perennial.
Well, why don't we take a look at that? And I think aside from the fees and maybe better defining intermittent and perennial, I think those are the only issues that I had.
Are all of the section references appropriate to the sections we have? Was that all
As far as
checked?
think
Assumed
so.
that- I didn't
Okay.
check it, I assumed that the clerk did that.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Because I remember all the
Yeah.
other towns'
Right.
standards we pulled these from
Yeah.
have all
Right,
sorts
exactly.
sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think at some point, and maybe we're not at the point yet where we can vote on a final set of regulations or the final draft, but clearly we should go through these with a fine-tooth comb,
Right.
and then at that point, so maybe not tonight, but maybe at the next meeting or maybe at the meeting in November, we'll be at that point.
So when the final version is submitted, is there a public comment period at that point?
You've got to have a public
Public
hearing.
hearing.
So I
Okay.
don't know when you want to schedule that.
Okay.
November. Think November?
Well,
Just before Thanksgiving then?
yeah, I would assume you want your fine-tooth comb version
Yeah, but
done before,
that gives us a month
right.
to finalize. I think
Right.
that's enough time.
I
So
would
now, are
think-
we going to meet just once in November and December?
That's what we,
Because the
that's
13th is,
been our customer practice.
yeah,
What's the date on Thanksgiving?
The 28th.
28th or something.
28th.
So we would just
the
meet
13th
Thursday
would
the
be
28th.
2nd.
Yeah, I mean, the fourth Wednesday would be the day before Thanksgiving.
No, we're not gonna meet that. That'll be the second.
Yeah, the
13th.
13th and then the 11th of December.
It's an awful long time between meetings, the way the calendar falls. Hopefully we don't have any pressing issues.
Could we always just schedule an
Well, I
emergency
think we
meeting
usually
if we
try to
had
meet in the middle of the month, it's, if you're only gonna have one.
Right.
Christmas
Yeah.
is literally the second, would be the second meeting in December.
Right.
Hmm.
So you're gonna meet on October 23rd, and then you're not gonna meet until November 11th. Then you're not gonna meet
Well,
again.
that's the norm anyway.
November 13th, and then
November
December
13th.
11th.
13th and then December 11th.
And then not until the second week in January.
Yeah.
So we'd have to finalize these at the next meeting on the 23rd.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have a hearing on,
Or
13th.
I mean, 1 month is not going to make a difference. We could
no, I'm
schedule it
just
for the 11th,
trying to, plan it out.
and I imagine that the agenda probably will be pretty light. I mean, I could be wrong certainly, but
Business does tend to slow down as we
Yes.
get into those months.
Yeah.
So do you wanna plan on a hearing on November 13th?
whatever your comfort level is, I mean, I think we could probably get everything finalized for the next meeting, but if you feel that we need,
No, I'd
be nice to get it
I'd
done.
like to get it done.
okay.
Because this has been in the pipeline for a long time.
Yeah, I'd really,
What do we have on for the 23rd right now?
Diamond,
Just Diamond right now, and I might have another, an RDA coming in for a couple
oh,
trees. in
and
the
we're gonna have this
backyard.
issue with, the Pappas Recreation Site
Yeah.
that we can discuss tonight, but we can't vote on, so.
Then why don't we do this? Why don't we set a deadline for ourselves to finalize the regulations by November 13th, and then have the public meeting on December 11th.
How does everybody feel about that?
Well, do you think people are gonna criticize us for doing it over the holidays, saying that, well, we're thinking about family and everything else and
No,
good stuff?
It's the 11th, I mean,
no, I
It's
don't.
not like it's Christmas Eve,
it's the month of
December
December,
11th,
that's not
the
that
final.
big
You know, we
of a
might get criticism
hardship.
that if we schedule it the 13th, we've interfered with people's
Thanksgiving.
Halloween celebration.
Or Thanksgiving.
And we could get accused of dragging our feet on, coming up with the new regulations by someone else, so it's...
Well,
Just raising the question.
What were the dates?
I think 11
I
is
proposed
far enough away from
our
the
final
holidays.
meeting on the
Me,
regulations,
either way,
November
I'm just
13th.
saying.
Somebody's gonna have
Public
to,
hearing.
somebody's gonna
On
have to get the information. to the other
November.
towns
December
about
11th.
the
Oh, December.
Fees and stuff, somebody's gonna have to do some research.
Fine, I'll do it, I'll volunteer.
Well, I was thinking Sheila would find that
Yeah.
information.
On the perennial streams and then the fees.
Really the
The
fees.
Yeah, I can do that.
yeah.
You know, I don't think I think one way to look at it would be to maybe just look at 5 to 6 local communities.
I know, ideally similar size and similar economic status.
So Oxford, Charlton, they probably don't have regs.
And then
Sturbridge
ideally
does.
newer,
North
ideally
Borough.
more recently updated
Yeah.
bylaw.
Yeah.
Not,
I don't know if
numbers from
Millbury has.
20 years ago.
We can figure it out though.
Okay. All right, so we'll plan on that then.
Oh, did anyone contact, I don't know if it would be Macy's or whoever does the
Nope.
maintenance over at the mall about the fence?
I don't recall, there was nothing in the minutes that we did, I thought we had.
I just threw that
I
in
thought
at
we
the
had
last
some
minute, huh?
It
correspondence.
was in the minutes.
It was in the minutes, but there was no action listed in the minutes.
Right.
I
Well, I
thought,
think you just made a statement and then nobody acted on it.
Oh, okay.
I thought there was a memo to go out or something.
Was there?
No?
I'm not sure. I just threw it in at after, I think, the close of business at that meeting, so.
Well, it's in the minutes, but what do you want to do about it, I guess?
Well, who's responsible for the heavy equipment that's parked on the mall site? Is that whoever does maintenance there, or is that highway department? I mean, who is that?
Well,
don't
I
think
think
it's
you send a letter to the mall and then let the
To,
mall
to
figure
maybe
it
the
out.
Macy's, because it is at the Macy's end.
I think
Well, it's
towards
the
the
whole
brook.
mall. It's
Okay.
the
Macy's is
Simon
the
or whatever
tenant,
it
so
is.
you
Okay.
send it to the mall.
Send a note to the mall.
Which is, I think, what
about
Simon Properties is.
the missing section of fence, and we're just concerned that, as in the past, debris or material gets pushed through the fence into the culvert into the brook.
Is that a motion?
I will make that motion.
I'll second it.
Is there any other discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Okay, was there anything else under miscellaneous? Well, we're talking about miscellaneous before I have something under new here. Today, I don't know, yesterday, we got this
Today.
from Leonard Engineering relative to the proposed playground for the Pappas Recreation Site.
Oh.
And so, obviously, we couldn't have it on the agenda, so we can't vote on it. So we'll have to put it on the next agenda, but I haven't had an opportunity to read any of this. I would, although I don't like to assume anything, it looks as though they're expecting us to amend the order of conditions for the playing fields and the roads, and to me, this is a new project. It was not in the scope of the original notice of intent, so, I guess we'll have to decide if we're going to reopen the hearing and amend the order of conditions, or whether it needs a new notice of intent. But we can't make any decisions tonight because it's not on the agenda. So, it just got delivered today.
Well, then,
It's unfortunate with the time frame because we can't do anything with it tonight.
we'll take it up on the 23rd.
Yeah, there's nothing else you can do.
And then we can, look at the DEP policy
Right,
and then make a decision.
right.
Where is that located on the site
I
as
don't-
it is now?
I don't know, it's behind
Oh.
the church, but I don't know exactly where.
Oh,
'cause I-
maybe-
I
It,
looked at
it was over by the exit to Curtis Street, and now they're moving it over to the center, right near where the wetland
so they're
is.
taking out even more of this.
Yep.
Huh.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So where's it going to be?
What little vegetation is left in that area?
I
Now,
think
wasn't
that's-
some of this left undisturbed?
It's at the end of the church
intentionally?
parking lot. Where's the church?
Right there.
Okay, well, it's kind of right down from the church. It's on the plan there.
Here?
There is a plan that
Yeah,
I
but the plan
I-
is
gave you.
yeah.
very clear.
Yeah. Well, I don't think, those plans I gave you.
Well, I mean, we can make a
Is it-
decision on it
Well,
anyway.
It's near the Performance Pavilion. Is the
Oh.
pavilion shown? Right there. I think it's actually,
Huh.
no, it's actually more
It's
towards
right down
this
from the
area.
church.
It's right
I
in here.
thought.
It's in this area here.
Jeez.
So, you know.
So
that
precisely in the middle of the biggest piece of undisturbed area.
That doesn't look like a minor change to me.
Mm,
That's just my opinion.
I would tend to
Yeah.
concur. I mean, what?
Share your opinion.
So we'll have to make a decision on the 23rd
Okay.
and advise accordingly.
I guess they wanted to move it over there so it would be more in an area that parents could watch their children more so than having them way over here
But of course, it's,
unattended.
but then again, it's maximally disruptive to the remaining
Yeah.
green space in the middle.
Yeah,
So,
and I think it's twice the size I think that they originally had discussed,
now,
according to Adam.
was part of our decision on this that this area was going to be left undisturbed, or do we have any jurisdiction over that? Because I don't remember if there's any wetland technically in there.
I don't think there was anything about nothing being undisturbed.
Yeah.
I think we all knew that a playground was coming because of all the chatter about it, but
I mean, there could be groundwater there. We don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have to take a
Yeah.
look.
Nobody's approached us about filing for it. So until we
It's
got
right about where your arrow is, that's right about where it's going, right
Yeah, I
there.
think so too.
Looking at this plan,
Yeah, yep.
it's where the
It's a pretty
Parking.
big area.
down
It's,
closer to the road.
I mean, that's 4,500 square feet
well,
of impervious area that they're going to create.
I mean, it's just kind of unfortunate, speaking for myself, because if there wasn't a plan to leave this undisturbed, maybe it would have been better for them to be honest in the beginning and just say, well, we really want to clear it.
I think
I guess that's neither here nor there.
Well, no,
I-
they actually, they proposed putting the playground elsewhere.
Mhm.
So now they want to move it and they want to make it bigger.
So it originally would have been on an area that was already
But I
cleared.
Yeah, right up
we
over
didn't-
there.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we didn't have. I don't recall there being anything in the previous
Specific
filing
No, there wasn't.
for a playground.
No.
I mean, they had talked about we had heard in the news and stuff where it was going to, where they wanted to put it.
Mhm.
But
So if it wasn't
I don't
in the
recall that it
original
was
project,
ever brought
then-
before our board.
No, it
No.
wasn't.
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
So it's a new matter.
It sounds like
This
you
was
can't
an-
put that in as an amendment then.
If I understand correctly, this was an afterthought. The Friends of the Pappas Recreation Area had a fund drive to raise money
Right.
to do this
Right.
after everything
Right.
else was done.
And it was going to
So
go
it was
directly
sort of
behind the
like an
church, I
afterthought.
thought, and now it's
That's
in
what I
a
had
different
heard.
location. So, I had hoped that the rest of that was going to stay natural, but
Mm.
just keep.
Nibble, nibble.
Well, it's more than a nibble.
Yeah, that's a big
I mean, it's a
playground.
pretty sizable area.
90 by
They're
50.
going to have to excavate it. They're going to create more impervious area. They're going to have to figure out a way to drain it.
Right. And I mean, if this has any wetlands value, its wetlands value, or if it has any wildlife value, its wildlife value is going to be cut in half.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll talk about it the next time.
Okay.
Should I tell them anything or just?
Just tell them we'll put it on the agenda and.
And we can't make any
'cause
decisions
I
tonight
haven't had a
anyway.
chance to read this.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
if they're
know what it
asking
is.
us to amend. There's no notice of intent, so.
Right.
I'm guessing they don't think that they need to file.
They call these minor
Minor.
modifications.
Minor modifications, so.
I mean, can we
So
I mean, a
can we
playground
reply
twice.
back and say we don't? I mean, we
We
can't make a
do anything.
decision,
We
so
can't
we
vote.
can't.
Right. We
Right.
just received it. We can't vote.
so we won't do anything until the next meeting.
Couldn't vote under it under miscellaneous?
No.
No, it's not
A
specified.
specific item can be discussed and noted in the minutes, but you cannot make any decisions
Oh,
on
okay.
anything that's not already on the agenda
Okay.
2 days prior to the meeting.
They should have known it's not a minor change, though.
Well, you know,
Even if it were, you'd still have to advertise to reopen the hearing
Yep.
to modify
we
the
can
order of
ask them why
conditions.
they waited until the last minute to file it.
But I mean, unfortunately, we can't vote on.
It is what it is. You don't
Right.
comply with our rules, then you have to wait.
So, anyways, all we can do is
Right.
put it on the next
Yep.
agenda.
Okay,
You
for
know?
discussion.
Correct. Yes, not as a hearing, but
Right.
for discussion. Site visits, National Grid, I'm not sure I thought we were settled on that.
Well, I did call Ray Looney after I spoke to that other gentleman. So,
Jack Meehan
I think that
from
was-
National Grid
Yeah. He might have had me, no, he had me call someone else.
at VHB.
You know what no, it was the guy that was doing the tree cutting. And he, I think it was Jack that I spoke with, and he said that all they're doing there is cleaning up. They're not cutting down any new
Right.
trees. Really, it was just cleaning up.
That's what
So
he
I
had
had told Ray that,
Yep.
and I haven't heard back from him, so he probably just heard the saws going and got nervous.
Yeah, because they had said when I talked to him that, you know, the trees were done in that area being cut.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
they had some more wood chips they needed to clean up.
right.
All right, so that seems to be taken care of. Okay, oh yeah, and Millbury Street enforcement order, that we've already talked about that. There's a notice of intent coming in. So we're fine with that.
I just wanted to say here that I got a letter regarding the Olympios on 70 Berlin Street. They were looking for a certificate of compliance, and they gave me the DEP file number for the town of Auburn. So I wrote back, I said, this DEP number is for the town of Auburn. It's got, you know, oh, that's what it was. It was, they were listed as one of the easements for the town of Auburn. You know, remember when they did kind of that blanket, the sewer department, excuse me, the sewer department filed a notice of intent. It was kind of like a blanket with several streets, and this was one of the parcels that has an easement on it, so they could clean up their easements.
Yeah.
So I wrote back and just told them that it was on one of the easements that the town of Auburn had filed.
So really, it's the town that should be applying for the certificate of
Exactly.
compliance, not the
Yeah.
owner.
Right.
But
And I've never,
how's that going to work? I mean,
I've never seen the town ever do it.
I never thought the town recorded stuff with the registry of deeds, and if it's not recorded, then there's no certificate of, you
I
know,
see.
what do they need a certificate of compliance for?
And it came from, who's Jason St. Pierre?
It's gonna be
God's son.
ongoing cleanup. It's an easement forever, they're gonna be
Yeah.
doing,
Unless they're trying to clear the title.
I'm sure that's
but
what
the only
it
way
is.
there'd be an encumbrance would be if it was recorded on the deed, and that would have been done by the town.
Well, it
Right.
says order conditions, Auburn Sewer Department.
I've never seen the town record an order before.
Jeff Mitchell. They
He
did though.
recorded it.
Well,
They did record it. They recorded it back in June of 11.
we probably could give a partial certificate of compliance, but I would think the town would have to get involved. I don't see how we can do it without the town.
Well, unless we're, you know, we're an agency or a commission of the town. Maybe they think we can act on behalf of the town.
But the property is still gonna be encumbered by the easement itself anyway.
Right. I don't think
Correct,
that's an
yeah,
issue, though.
Yeah, no, that wasn't the issue. It was just that the certificate of compliance that we're looking for.
Well, I guess it begs the question, they've got this easement so that they'll be able to maintain their right-of-way for perpetuity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're not entitled to get a certificate of compliance.
So how do you give a certificate of compliance
You
or
can't.
something like that?
I don't think you can. Can you make a copy of this and email it to me tomorrow?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
What's the address for that?
70 Berlin.
70 Berlin?
Yep.
Okay, anything under pending or miscellaneous, anything else? We have the minutes from the last meeting.
Sheila, do you have an extra copy? If you don't, that's okay.
Well. I do.
Okay.
Amazing. Oh, you can take that
Okay,
one.
thanks.
didn't get one either.
No, they were in the packet that was in the mail the other day. Probably.
There you go. I read them, so I'm all set.
Under the Arboretum section, I
Yeah,
didn't see there's no motion to open the hearing.
there was not one made.
Well, then there's a problem.
I'm concerned about that.
I listened to the meeting.
That's odd.
Yes, it's very odd.
Because Scott Morrison got right up and started explaining
Yeah.
right away, and then no one, I think it just took off from there.
Huh.
Took on a life of its own. Well, it's kind of funny because we made a motion to close the hearing, but we didn't make a motion to open it. Besides the fact that it says halfway in the middle of this paragraph on the second page that Mike Garland wasn't here, but he was here.
I wasn't here on that.
He wasn't here at the
11th.
prior meeting, but he was here at this meeting.
Oh, yes, I guess that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, that has to be amended. I wonder if we could do it non-pro tunc.
What?
That's fancy Latin for if we can approve the action that we took back on September 25th.
Retroactively?
Yeah, we can do it. I'm not saying we should, or that we should get in the habit of doing it, but I mean,
It's probably for the best if we have to rectify that.
I think we have to rectify it. I mean, because the other members of the board moved to amend the order of conditions. As I recall, a signature page was circulated, so unless you want to drag the applicant back in.
No.
Is he
He was
necessary?
here enough times.
Yeah. So,
Do you want to amend these minutes to reflect?
well, no, we can't because we didn't move to open the meeting. We can't say something happened when it didn't.
Well, we closed the hearing, but we didn't open it.
I understand that.
Of course, other boards don't open hearings anyway, so.
They should.
Ah, the little technicalities.
Well, he appeared the week before, the meeting before, right? On
He did.
September 11th.
Yeah,
Continuation of the hearing.
All right.
let me see if we
I'm
got
gonna
on
try
the
it.
agenda.
I have no idea if we can do it or not, but I would move today that with respect to the 7 o'clock or the meeting on 7:10 meeting for Arboretum Village that went forward on September 25, 2013, that the board intended to open the public hearing, that a public hearing did in fact take place, and so we should ratify what the board did on September 25th, 2013 by retroactively opening that meeting.
Is there a second to that?
I'll second that.
I mean, it sounds like a reasonable course of action to me, so.
Is there any issue that Chuck isn't here when he was here then?
Because there are enough members
Okay.
present.
We don't have a quorum.
Any other discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So voted.
I'll be abstaining because I wasn't here for the hearing, so.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So that, what we just did is going to appear in the meeting, the minutes for tonight's
For tonight.
meeting.
Correct,
Okay.
4-1.
Okay.
So regarding the minutes for September 25, I think as Ian indicated, on page 2 where it says I was not present, it's just indicated I wasn't present for the 9/11 meeting.
Right,
And then on 745 Open Wetland Regulations, Ann Weston discussed the regulations and would like the board to review the fees and adjust them. I think it's fair to say that would like the board to review the fees and consider adjusting them.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't tell the board to do anything.
Well, you can.
All I can do is ask.
Yeah, we'd ignore.
Second page, 720 Franklin Park. Little League has to be, it's a proper name, right?
It's capitals,
Yeah,
yeah.
capital
okay.
L, capital L. Otherwise, it's a small league of what?
It's 20,000 leagues under
Yeah,
the
right.
sea.
All right, is there a motion on these?
I would move to approve the meeting minutes for September 25, 2013 as well.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? So voted. Okay, the next meeting is scheduled for October 23rd.
Right.
Okay. Is there anything else?
Nope. Motion to adjourn.
I'll
Is there a
second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Thank you very much.